Hello, everyone. We are the UW Cube Sustainability Team, and we are here today to present our product, which is EcoQuest, helping you on your quest to become more sustainable. First of all, we'd like to start with a little bit of a story to understand the problems that we've encountered within this space. Let's start with a story about Annie and her three daughters. One of them recently got interested in sustainable action. But the thing is, Annie, as a mother, um, she's already taking care of her three kids. She's already working. And on top of that, she doesn't have the time to think about her electricity bill or her plastic consumption. But this changes once her daughter informs her that she's interested in climate change. There is a call to action. And this call to action leads to two things. First of all, we'd realize that this is a gain for Annie because she was influenced by her family member to start taking action. And the same thing applies for a lot of people. We'd like to believe that the best source for sustainable action for people is actually when they see their friends and their family doing it in a positive way. The next thing that we want to look into is as Annie does more of her research, she actually comes across a lot of articles about the melting polar ice caps, the wildfires, and all about climate change. However, none of these help her to learn more about reducing her carbon emissions. Our goal with our product is to help people take more actionable steps than learning about the problems that we have, but more about the solutions that we can make. To support this, let's go a bit into our qualitative and quantitative research. First of all, we have a lot of hopeful research regarding the future of sustainability. Contrary to our plan of solving people's negligence towards sustainability, we realize that they already care for it. With 69 of people already believing that their sustainable actions have impact, with 75% of the people we interviewed being concerned about the resources that they take up, and with 82% of them already incorporating sustainable items into their everyday lives. We'd like to believe that it's not really more about creating sustainable action, it's more about enabling people to push the pre existing habits that they have further. Furthermore, we've also been able to interview a few people within our generation and within our target demographic, and a few of our assumptions that we first made were very much put into question. First of all, we used to think about negative peer pressure and how other people were just influenced by the mindsets of our culture. It turns out that it also goes both ways. There's not only negative peer pressure to loiter or to not throw your things in the trash, but there's also positive peer pressure to actually do things and to be more sustainable ourselves. We've also realized that it's not that people don't really care or people don't really use plastic water bottles because um, they don't care about the environment, but it's just that occasionally people are forgetful. When you walked out the door because you have work to do or you have to get to work, you have to go to school, you have to do something, it's very easy to forget about the tote bag. It's very easy to forget about the reusable water bottle or the containers. And it's very simple to create an app that enables people to remember these things. For user interviews, we were also able to look into whether pre existing shopping options for sustainability were accessible for people. And in as much as they are scattered around the web and around local communities within Toronto and Ontario, we realized that there's nothing that really puts them or binds them together into one place. And finally, we used to think that climate action is just an afterthought for people. It's easy to feel alone in this battle towards climate change, especially when you feel that no one else is fighting it with you. So we solve this through our app, which is EcoQuest. It's a community based app that aims to encourage environmental habit building for a eco friendly future. Our app is made up of these green colors to make sure that we're connoting sustainability. But for our style guide, we went a bit farther by utilizing blue, green, which are Earth's colors, and making them a bit more vibrant to suit our progressive and habit building message. Here is our onboarding screen, and further note, here are the main features that we are planning to implement as of now. On top of events which let you meet with other people, and on top of map features which enable you to use your geographic location to find the nearest trash can or the nearest the nearest place where you could throw your water bottles. We also made these three main features, which we believe are the most important. First of all, is incentivized goals. Incentivized goals comes in two ways. First of all, is incentivized goals through discounts. We are fortunate enough to have a shopping app within within our app, so we can easily apply discount coupons to the things that you buy. And furthermore, we also offer an ability to collaborate with your friends and see where they are in this race towards building sustainable habits. We also enable people to learn to reduce their carbon footprint without the negative messages and the negative opinions that come with it. We enable people to learn in a way that's more productive and more straight to the point, and enables them to really learn these small, actionable, individualistic steps that they could take to be sustainable. And finally, is our effortless sustainable shopping experience. We know that hopping from website to website, from app to app, and from store to store is very difficult for people. But putting everything in one place enables people to actually make that sustainable choice of shopping for themselves. With incentivized goals, with a new way to learn, a new way to shop, and a new way to connect with people, we are EcoQuest. Thank you for watching, and here is our design team. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maisha. I'm the team leader for the AR VR team this term, and today I'll be presenting you all the research and the design and the product ideas we've come up with this past term. So our team decided to mostly focus on VR, as it has particularly been around more and has more practical applications. To give a background, VR or virtual reality is a computer generated environment that can simulate real life or a fictional environment. And this environment is perceived through a device known as a virtual reality headset, or this could be a helmet too. So currently, VR is used mostly in gaming. There has been some major breakthroughs in the medical industry where doctors have been using VR to practice expensive or dangerous surgeries, but this is clearly not known worldwide as VR is known in gaming. So we wanted to use VR for social good, and with the current pandemic, we've seen that a lot more people have become less sociable, and this did have detrimental effect to mental health. So we wanted to improve that in some kind of way. And with the quick research, we've seen that companies that have made products um, for mental health treatment using VR have shut down or are clearly very underfunded because they do not have the um, user experience in mind. So there were some major dissonance effects that were clearly universal for everyone wearing the VR headset that we did keep in mind while designing our product. So there were three effects: focusing effect, time compression, and empathy generator. The focusing effect. So when you put a VR headset on, you're ultra focused. Nothing in your real physical world matters anymore. Distractions are dramatically less likely than a user being on a computer or their phones. Time compression. Research also shows that users in general think they have spent 50% less time than they actually did when they wore a headset. And then we have empathy generator. So when a user wears a headset, it gives you an immersive point of view. And by seeing the world in this immersive point of view of maybe a different individual, you are likely to generate empathy for others. So now comes our idea. From our surveys and user uh, talking to users, and from our team members itself, we've seen that a major fear a lot of us have is public speaking. So we decided to focus on using VR for overcoming the fear of public speaking. And our goal was to design a simple app called Speak Help that could connect your phone to a VR application and your smartwatch, and that could keep history of your pulse, blood pressure, etc. So 50% of our survey takers had a fear of public speaking, and there were some common um, features that we've seen that that trigger the fear of public speaking, and that is users are mostly scared of being humiliated, and users are very conscious of their physical appearance when they're at stage. And we've seen that more people are comfortable presenting in front of children than adults, since children judge less harshly than adults, and a large number of people are more comfortable from performing in an empty room than with people. So we designed our app for professionals practicing their presentations, or students overcoming their fear of public speaking. This can be used in an educational environment too, maybe for a public speaking course, and any users who cannot afford an expensive therapist. We were big. We were able to begin crafting low and high fidelity wireframes, and the intent was to help us envision what the app structure will look like when the graphics and colors bring it to life. So there were some key features that we knew that we wanted in our app. The first is obviously registration. So we can store all the past history and statistics of all of our users. VR smartwatch permissions, statistics, of course, history of previous sessions and progress. And this has also been done visually in line graphs and pie charts, and environment selection and levels. So we've seen from our user surveys that there were some environments that triggered the fear of public speaking than others. So we decided to make our app like a game where there has easier environments. For example, an empty classroom are in the beginner level, and as you advance through the levels, you open up new and harder or harder environments, which might trigger a user's fear of public speaking even more. So this is our design for our final app. Um, we firstly have the welcome screen, which clearly has the headline and what we want to achieve with this app. And the actionable items are um, placed over here for registration. And then we have permissions, and it has an icon for VR. So even before reading the instruction, we can tell we have an idea of what the screen is supposed to do, and we placed all of the actionable items in green color, in a green bar, as it clearly shows that an action is supposed to be taken here. And then, of course, the login page. Um, as you can see, it has a very clean UX, and the colors, we've chosen this palette of pink and um, tan colors to show to invoke a feeling of calmness. And we also do not have any hard edges, because it invokes calmness, and it also has a cleaner UX. And of course, environment selection, it has a picture showing the empty classroom, for example, and statistics, calendar, and day stats. So statistics shows the heart rate and the blood pressure. It can be either the current day, weekly, or monthly, whatever the user chooses, and this is visually represented by graphs, so the user clearly can tell um, whether they are making progress or not. And then we have the calendar that shows the amount of days that the user has done a presentation or practiced, and the day stats. The day stats are stats that are shown immediately when the user ends a presentation, um, and particularly when a user chooses a day on the calendar. And this is all these are the final screens we came up with. As you can see, all the instructions follow a visual hierarchy, so it can be easier for the user to read. And that is everything. Thank you for listening.
Hi, we are the accessibility design team at Cube. We are here to introduce our product AppTime and how we have fitted into our standards of accessibility and inclusivity. We will begin by defining the problem faced, which simply is a lack of attention and care given to people suffering with ADHD in the productivity and mental health sectors, and then delve into our research. We will also go over our concept and then lastly our solution to our initial problem. Let's begin. Products made especially for people suffering with learning disabilities are rare, and the ones that are on the market are not tended to and made with much care and precision as they should be. Especially due to COVID-19 pandemic, access to learning and organizing oneself as student has become extremely important and simultaneously difficult to manage. People who suffer with learning disabilities can display a wide range of symptoms such as depression and anxiety. Hence, our problem space can be defined as lack of focus and concern to people suffering with these issues, resulting in a better interface for those who suffer with learning disabilities and difficulty to pay attention.
To create a better product, we primarily focused on ADHD and its effects and an easy way to solve them. We began our research process by identifying how people living with ADHD currently function and their symptoms. Symptoms range from separate mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety to issues with organization and an inability to reason with and prioritize tasks themselves. We then focused on solutions people who suffer with ADHD currently have in place. Creating habits and routines, unique planning systems, and reminder systems ranked most frequently in their solutions. Hence, we began to sketch out and develop a prototype based on what already works for people with ADHD and people who have difficulty focusing.
The concept was developed when amalgamating a research where we began to piece together an interface that would help users input tasks, keep different areas of their life organized, and allow for mental health support on the side. The aspect of mental health and self-care was important to us as not only is the issue topical, but mental health in people who suffer from ADHD and other learning disabilities suffer from disproportionately worse mental health attention and care, as their problems can be multifaceted and more complex. While our concept is not a solution or a replacement for therapy, it has been designed for people who suffer from ADHD in mind.
We primarily focused on allowing users the same modes of planning as mentioned in current approaches to battling ADHD. We began with the implementation of users being able to plan out their lives according to categories, and then being able to add tasks organized within these categories. Additionally, we also began adding auto-generated self-care practices on the prototype's homepage in an effort to allow users to implement self-care into their daily routines, something which multiple people who suffered with ADHD said changed their approach to productivity. We also added productivity and mental health trackers to our interfaces to ensure that users could view their progress. This was something a lot of our research pointed out would be beneficial to people suffering from ADHD, as they would be able to conceptualize and get a sense of how their current actions affected their progress. Impatience in individuals with ADD and ADHD can cause them to forego their tasks, and this could have been helpful for them to see how what they are doing now will affect their future. Additionally, we added the ability for users to prioritize their tasks in order to see which tasks are most urgent, and then also strategizing as to which tasks might be able to serve multiple purposes across academic, daily life, and social contexts. This also alleviates decision fatigue on the user's part and helps people understand what needs their attention first. Lastly, we also implemented the idea of streaks to our mental health page to motivate and encourage users to pay more attention to and develop consistency in that area.
Although this product may improve the accessibility for many, to improve our interface, we would like to add a community feature to help our potential users not feel alone in their struggles and condition, and find a like-minded community of people to interact with, or a safe space to be in while trying to improve one's time management. We would also like to add a goal tracking feature to help users actually practice and develop healthier habits, which would help them in the long run. This would also allow users to see their incremental progress and feel a sense of greater achievement. And lastly, we would also like to focus more on game theory and design to accommodate different methods of learning, and add to our interface rewards, which would further motivate them to continue logging in their progress and sticking with it.
In conclusion, our interface does not aim to be a replacement or substitute for therapy and users' understandings of their cognitive behaviors and patterns. It merely attempts to fill a space in the productivity and mental health app sector which has been neglected for some time now. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and we look forward to hearing your thoughts on the subject. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Daniela Bredin, and I'm the team lead for the healthcare group at CUBE. I'm going to my second year of global business and digital arts at Waterloo, and I really enjoy being a part of CUBE because I'm able to gain hands-on experience in my field, work collaboratively with my team, and create such a cool design and idea. Our mission was to come up with an idea that could be used in the healthcare industry. So our first step was ideation. We all did weeks of research to check out what was already in the field, what could be improved, and what was missing. We came to understand that a common interest and passion we all wanted to pursue was the difficulty of the language barriers in the healthcare industries. Being raised in such a diverse country like Canada, we know many friends and family who can't communicate strongly to healthcare professionals without a translator in the room, although we know how hard it can be to obtain one easily and fast. So we decided to create an app that will connect patients to translators. They can now have quick access to a translator on their device through video call, or can book an appointment for them to come in. We decided to run a survey and ask our audience if they needed a product like this. We predicted our audience spoke a wide range of languages and were proven right. We questioned if they spoke another language other than Canada's official main language, English. Majority said yes. We also asked if they've ever had to translate for a family member or a friend. Majority of them would rate that experience very challenging, 6 out of 10 being the most common, and there were 0 ratings higher than an 8. We wanted to create a product that was helpful, but easy to navigate. Next was our brand. We thought of thousands of names, logos, and color palettes, but ultimately chose an easy-to-remember name, applicable logo, and aesthetically pleasing color palette. We decided to really get our idea down and begin writing down what we really wanted our app to have that would make this experience as easy as possible for our audience, and got down to wireframing. We spent weeks editing, reviewing, and asking for feedback from our mentors to create an outline we were truly proud of, so we could start prototyping. I will now pass the mic to my wonderful team members who will explain the final prototype.
Hello, my name is Foong, and I'm in my second year of Global Business and Digital Arts. I joined CUBE because I wanted to challenge myself and be able to address problems I was passionate about, such as accessibility within healthcare. What I enjoyed about my time in Cube is that I was able to think more critically of how I choose to communicate through design and improve them. Additionally, I was able to achieve my goals and create a meaningful project alongside a great team.
Hi, my name is Tay, and I am going into my third year of GBDA. I joined CUBE because I really wanted to push myself to create during the summer, but I also wanted to meet new people, and I think that's one of my favorite things about our group is that we all became really good friends, and I wasn't expecting it. I'm really grateful for that.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna and I'm going to my 3-year term of health science. One of the reasons as to why I joined CUBE this term is because I wanted to get more creative. One of my favorite things about CUBE was getting to know the people and working with them throughout the term on such an amazing project.
Hello, my name is Priyanna Langanesan and I'll be going into my second year of GBDA this fall. The reason why I joined CUBE this term was to further strengthen my creative problem-solving skill set and gain more hands-on experience in the design field. Additionally, my favorite thing about CUBE was definitely the people. I learned a lot from them and everyone was super kind, and I also really loved the creative freedom of being on CUBE.
So when the user first opens their app, they're met with a loading screen. After the loading finishes, they're then taken to the login and sign up. If they're a first-time user and they want to create a new account entirely, they're then taken to the sign up page where they can log in using either Google or Facebook or create a new account entirely with the use of their email. After they finish creating their account, they're taken to the mode selection where they can select how they would like to use this app, either as a patient or a translator. If they already have an account and they choose the login option, they can proceed to sign in with the email associated with their account. We also added an option if they forgot their password, they're taken to another page where they can reset their password and create new login details so they can access their account.
So when you first make your account or log in, you will find a mini walkthrough of how to use the app and all the main components that you will need to use. You can walk through this tutorial or you can skip it. On the homepage, you will find upcoming appointments on a calendar that are highlighted for easy viewing. Under that, you will find a book appointment button, which you can use to schedule new appointments and add them to your calendar. Under that button, you will find your favorite translators that you have saved, and it will take you to a screen with all of your favorite translators that you have had in the past. And under that component, you will find Discover New Translators, where you can find new people to help you translate your appointments. Under that, you will find the navigation bar, which has your home page or your dashboard, which is what we're on now, messaging, your calling, and your calendar to find all of your appointments. This is your previous translators page where you can find all of your previous translators. It shows you the time you last booked this translator, as well as the location your appointment was at. Here is where you can discover new translators, and it gives you a rundown of their name, the languages they speak, and what city they're from. This is your confirmation page, just confirming all of the information that you have already inputted for your appointment. And under that, you can just click the book appointment button and your translator will be notified and your appointment will be booked in your calendar. This is the error page, and hopefully you will never have to see this page, but just in case the page you are looking for does not exist, it will take you back to the previous page you were just on, or you can use the navigation bar to switch to a different screen.
So when you click on the upcoming appointments, you see an expanded version of the calendar, and on there you get to see today's date along with all of your upcoming appointments that are both confirmed and requested. If you click on the button that says book an appointment, you get to the page that says scheduling. On there you get to pick the date along with the time of your appointment and when you would like to request a translator. Based off of your appointment time, you get a list of translators who are available to translate for you on that day. You might notice that there is a clock icon followed by the words previously booked. This allows the user to understand that they have already booked that specific translator before, and if they would like to, they can book them again. There's also a filter button on the top right corner of your screen that will allow you to filter out translators who do not meet your specific requirement. More specifically, you get to filter out your translators based off of language, distance between you and them, along with the price. Once you have applied those filters, you get a list of more refined translators that are available to you. At that point, you can choose a translator who you are most interested in and see their profile. Their profile will list their location, their bio, their pricing, their rating, along with their reviews. It also allows you to know the languages that they are proficient in and other translators that are very similar to them. At that point, you can either choose to contact that translator or book that translator. When you click on reviews, you get to see all of the reviews of previous users who have used this specific translator. You get to see their comments along with the amount of stars that they have left the translator. Once you are done looking through the profile along with the reviews for that translator, you can then request to use that translator for your next appointment. What you can do at that point is select the language that you would like to use, that you prefer, along with the location of your clinic. Before you are able to finish with your request, the page will bring you to a summary page that includes your appointment information such as date, time, location, and the translator that you have chosen. At that point, there is a big book appointment button on the bottom of the screen that will allow you to finish with the booking process for that specific translator.
Users are able to access their message center by clicking onto the message icon from the dashboard. From their message center, they are able to view their messages in chronological order and either write a new message to a specific translator or access their message requests. If they were to click on the message request icon, they will be taken to a screen where they can view their message requests from translators in chronological order. They are also given the option to delete all their requests or view them in more detail by clicking onto the message. If they were to click onto the message, they are taken to a screen where they can either accept or deny that specific message request. If they choose to accept that message request, they are able to exchange messages with their translator, add attachments such as images or voice recordings. This was done so users and translators are able to communicate efficiently. Additionally, they are able to call or video call their translator from the screen as well. Both the call and FaceTime screen offer the options to add individuals to the call, mute their voice, end the call, turn on or off the camera, or return to the message exchange screen while still on call. The FaceTime option also allows you to flip your camera. Finally, users are able to access their call history and settings by clicking on to the settings icon or call history icon from the dashboard. The call history page displays all call history and its details, including canceled calls, outgoing calls, or accepted calls. The settings page allows users to change their personal information or app settings to fit their needs.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Our team wanted to give a big thank you to our mentors for their support and to Cube for the opportunity.